Okay, hey, so today I'm going to quickly run you guys through how to set up triggers with on Arma free, basically to create a non-Zeus mission, so you can play a mission without having a Zeus pet. For this mission we're going to be setting up a basic attack and response trigger. We're also going to be setting up a Zeus and a respawn of a Zeus just in case the trigger doesn't work, or let's say you finish the mission and you want to play some more Arma, you can set up some more stuff in Zeus. So let's quickly go over setting up the spawn system and the Zeus. So firstly we're going to put down our first character. We're going to take an officer over here and we're going to put him down here. We're going to open him up and we're going to head straight to the object control section. So we're going to untick player. Now this also unticks playable. We're going to retick playable and we're going to give him a role description. In this case I'm just going to call him player 1. You can call him whatever you want to. Now for the variable name we're just going to call him Z_1. This basically symbolizes for me Z1 or Zeus 1. Now we're going to go over to the module section in F5 systems, to the Zeus section in the drop down menu, and then choose Game Master. Put that down, open that up, and then we're going to set the default add-ons over here, it's a drop down menu, to all add-ons including unofficial ones. The owner we're going to set to whatever you called the init field for this character over here. So in this case Z_1. You can, of course, change this name to whatever else you want, just make sure that you update the name on the owner section. You all can have multiple of these, I should also clarify. Now we're also going to set up our spawn section by staying in the modules and going to multiplayer, respawn position, putting that down wherever we want, double tapping it, and setting the side to blue4 or whatever character your character is from, and the name to spawn. You can change the name to whatever you want, you can call it barracks or whatever. For this you can also have multiple ones. I recommend you change the name both for H1 or give it a custom name. Now, we're also going to go up to Attributes, Multiplayer, and then we're going to go to the Respawn tab. We're going to go to the drop down menu, and where it says Respawn and Custom Position, click that. Now we're going to have a bunch of rule sets here. We're going to show the respawn counter, and we're going to tick Select Respawn Position. Now we're going to go down to the respawn delay, where it says here, and then over here you have a bunch of zeros. This is marked in hours, minutes, and seconds. For the seconds, we're going to switch that to 0.5. That represents 5 seconds on the count. That means between every death, you need to wait 5 seconds before you can respawn. You need to set a second timer there, otherwise it seems not to work. You can set 1 second. For me, 5 seconds just works best enough to give the player and the game a bit of time to load while you're dead. Now next up, we're going to remain in the multiplayer section and make sure in the lobby we untick Enable AI so there's no AI spawned. I should clarify that this process that we used earlier to make all the player playable is repeatable for any other character you want to have in the mission. Now let's set up our triggers. For this case, we want to basically attack this point, walk into this point, trigger an enemy reaction. So the way we're going to do this is going to go up to the trigger section over here, select this trigger, which is 100 by 100. Now this trigger is all great, but let's say we want to modify a bit. So we're going to open this drawer up, and we've got some shapes here. We want to set it to a rectangle or a square. So we're going to open that. And that's why we want to change the size to a bit bigger. We're going to set it to 75 by 75 over here. Do not mess with the -1. I don't know what that means. Just mess with the A and B axis for the size. Now let's go down to trigger activation. You can, I should clarify, use this to trigger a point, or use the coding. I don't know much about the coding. I just know the basics of triggers. So we're going to go to this. For us, we want this point to be guarded by op4, so we're going to have an op4 person in it. The activation we want to set to blue4. That means that if any blue4 person is there, then then it is triggered. Activation type detected by blue4. Activation when area must have discovered given by side. We don't want that. We just want present. That means that a blue4 person must be present. We don't want this event to be repeatable for us. Now, because this is a bit big, we're just going to rotate it so we don't spawn at the point immediately for this to work. Now, let's say we want to send in some reinforcements after we've triggered the event. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to put down an enemy survivor. We're also going to put another one down over here in this base. The enemy that will be defending at this point. Now, this enemy survivor, I should note out, spawns as a player. The reason why is any new character you put down will be a player. If you're going to put down a bunch of characters to mitigate this, I recommend you put down a civilian as a player and then delete him eventually after you set everyone either to playable or just as AI. We want to set this guy to AI, so we're going to double click him and just untick player and make sure we don't retick playable. I say again, do not retick playable. So what do we want to do next? Let's make sure this guy can get to the point a bit quicker. So we're going to give him a car. We're going to make sure we don't have place vehicles with crew tick, and we're just going to give him a quad bike. We're going to put him on the quad bike, and yeah, now he's just sitting there. He can't actually get the event triggered. In this case, we could do two things. We can go to the waypoints, select move, and just put a move. So select him, select the move trigger, and just put one, or move waypoint, and just move him right into the point. And if we wanted to trigger that, so we just have to go over here, right click, sync waypoint activation, and connect it to our move marker. Now that's all fun games, and then he'll instantly move there. But let's say we want to do something more more interesting. Let's delete this, and let's set a waypoint marker over here. So let's select him, set a waypoint marker over here. Then we'll set another one down the runway. Set up a little curve. Have him drive down here, repeat the same little curve. And then we can have him drive over here. Vehicle, get out. And then move over here. Now, this is a nice intricate waypoint. We're just going to make sure we can trigger this waypoint. So we're going to sync waypoint activation, go all the way to our first waypoint we put down, and click. Now, the way this works is, once we are detected in this point, this waypoint will be triggered, leading this guy to drive forwards to this waypoint, this waypoint, this waypoint, this waypoint, this waypoint, get out, and walk over here. Now, to test this, we don't want to just go into play single player. We're going to hit play at the top here and play in multiplayer. The reason for this being that in single player you'll just immediately get booted to a load screen and nothing much will happen. Seeing as we want to play this, with a selection and everything, we're going to set it up as a LAN game. We can also set it up as an actual internet game by switching to internet, but we don't want that. We just want to play it on LAN. We're going to hit OK and wait for the game to load. Here we have our lobby. We're going to hit player 1 and hit OK. And now we just wait. And here we are, hit continue, and then we spawn. Now what we're going to do is, we can just wait for the mission to load in, walk over here, and our guy has already laid down because he's seen us already. Now we've been detecting the square, and back there, you can already see the enemy vehicle coming in. We can kill this guy. He's an enemy combatant, if I can actually aim. Oh, come on, I've headshot you, there we go. And here comes our guy. Takes a left turn over there. He's not the best driver, not the most secure driver. It's Arma 3 AI. He's going to keep going. Now, because the AI has been overwritten because of this threat, it will stop there. If there were probably other people in the vehicle, he might get out. Oh, nope, he's continuing going. He doesn't see me as a threat anymore. He's going to move over here, and he's going to just drive off because he's scared of me now. So we can just unload into him at our choosing and actually try and hit him. Ah, well, off he goes. You understand the principle though? The trigger has worked. This guy's AI control is now taken over. Now, see if we can get him now, probably. There we go. Yeah, this guy's AI control took over, seeing as he thought the AI was too dangerous, and he's just a survivor. Those guys are really scared. If it would have been a squad of enemies, they probably would have approached me and tried to kill me, and if I would have been lucky, I might have survived. So yeah, that's how triggers work. Now, I should clarify that you can make triggers a lot more intricate. In this case, we just did we attack a place, they send a response force. You can even set a trigger up in a case of, you can make a trigger really wide and really thin, setting up as a sort of sensor mine thing, something like that. Meaning that, let's say you've crossed an invisible sensor, and that detect, enemies are sent in. Or you can set triggers up for op4. Let's say you've got, op4 are running away, then you can have a blue 4 reinforcement group cut them off. That might be on your side, or vice versa, Something like that. Everything is possible. You can set up, your attack scenarios, and, support is immediately called in. If you put a lot more effort into researching the scripts than I did, then you'll probably be able to do a lot more triggers than I did. But in this case, this is a very basic tutorial of how to set up triggers. And we've also set up a Zeus mode, so I can go into Zeus and put down some more enemies if I wanted to make another mission for myself. I'm sadly you can't put down triggers, but, what can you do? So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.